Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here to chat with me again today. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I've currently got an 8th grader, a 4th grader, a kindergartner, and a pre-Ker. And on this channel, I like to share mostly secular homeschooling, but I also share our lives, motherhood, and lots of other things as well. And today is the first day in my week-long series of curriculum reviews or end of year reviews. That's what I was trying to think of. End of year reviews for the 23-24 school year. Now, I have to preface this by saying we are year-round homeschoolers, so we're not technically at the end of our year yet. We won't end until probably like mid-July. But I wanted to go ahead and share because one of the videos this week is going to be part of a collaboration video, and this is when you guys like to hear about what we did and how it went and all those things. So I wanted to go ahead and share, even though we're not completely done. And I am going to break these videos up per your request into 3 videos. That is going to be an 8th grade video, a 4th grade video, and then a kindergarten pre-K video. So the way we're going to do it this year is I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch my videos that I put out as my curriculum pick videos, and then we'll stop along the way and see, and I'll explain, how that piece of curriculum went. So let's get started with that. Let me pull it up here. We have already started Algebra 1. I got the edition that has geometry in it as well from Saxon Math. So this is her textbook. We are using Nicole the Math Lady. I'll put a little screenshot here to go along with this. We started it already, so she's been working on it throughout this summer, but that's what we are using for math. If you've been around at all, you know that this was not a success for us. We loved Nicole the Math Lady. We really did like her videos. My daughter liked her videos. She thought they were engaging. She learned a lot from them. However, the Saxon program, we did not enjoy. It took way too much time. The problems took way too long. There wasn't a good way to reduce the amount that she was doing. She was spending over an hour on math, not what we like to do around here. And it just didn't present concepts in a very clear pattern. It was kind of all over the place, and it was not successful. So we definitely let that go. We switched over to Khan Academy math for a little while, just kind of took math a little bit slower for a little bit. And then we have started using the Everything You Need to Know to ACE pre-algebra and Algebra 1 Big Fat Notebook. I'll put a picture here. That is going pretty decently right now. But Saxon was not a go for us. And then next up is kind of the whole English language arts umbrella. So if you don't know, we've been using Brave Writer literature guides for a very long time. We are going to continue to do that. We do not get through one a month like the program is designed to do. It probably takes us closer to 2 months to finish one because we are working on other things during that time as well. So the Brave Writer literature singles, yes, we did continue to use those. We did not get through very many this year, but yes, we continue to use those. We continue to love those. We will continue to be using those. We are going to use Fix-It Grammar. You guys know we absolutely love it. So I don't know that she's going to quite get through this whole book by summertime. Okay, so we did continue using Fix-It Grammar. We still love Fix-It Grammar around here. She's doing very well with Fix-It Grammar. Her grammar skills are doing great. And so while we still love this program, and we will go back to this program probably, we are going to take a small break from Fix-It Grammar just because our literature guides also cover grammar. So yeah, but Fix-It Grammar, we love it. We've been using it for a while now. We still love it. We'll continue to use it. And then we are going to be using Zaner Blozer's Spelling Connections. I'm going to put a picture here because I haven't actually technically bought it yet. But Niki over at Blessed Homeschool Mess, she shared about this. I really liked it at the time, but I was like, we like what we're doing, sequential spelling. But my daughter's starting to complain more and more and more about the sequential spelling. Okay, so picked up spelling connections. Hated it, guys. We tried to make it work. It just didn't. It wasn't something that we enjoyed. Neither one of us enjoyed it. And so that one bit the dust. We went back to sequential spelling. And I think now that she's seen like what the other option is, she doesn't give me such a hard time about the sequential spelling anymore. So loving sequential spelling, that's what we've been using. Well, that's what we're going to continue using. So we will be using that as like our two main like grammar things. And then the last component of English language arts is writing. And I have decided to pick up Layers of Learning, the writer's workshop. So I'll put a picture here as well, because I did pick up Layers of Learning. We did use it a few times, but you know, we just didn't have the greatest year, and so I didn't get as far into that as I wanted to. I'm hoping to use that some over this summer. Like, we're gonna kind of adjust our schedule a little bit. We're about to finish up a few of our, like, you know, standard things, and so I'm gonna let those finish up, and then we're gonna take a break from those and kind of work on some of the things that we didn't get to throughout the year, and writing was one of them. So I'm hoping to use that more. I'm not really ready to give you a yes, I love it, no, I don't review yet, so look for that to come later on. But I did pick it up. We did use it a few times. I did like that the first few times. Okay, I know I said that was the last thing, but I always forget about this root words. We love root words. We're maybe about halfway through this book, so we're gonna okay, so yes, we continue to use root words. We only got through the rest of that book this year, and she'll start the next level in August with her new year, but we're going to continue using root words, or word roots. I always say that wrong. We still love it, still use it. Both my girls use it. Still a hit around here. Combining history and science together this coming year using the Big History Project. So I did share a video. I'll link it here and down in the description for you guys. I shared a video on what Big History Project is, how you can use it. It is a free online program designed for public schoolers, but you can adapt it and use it for anybody. And so I did a whole video on what that is and how we're going to be using, not exactly how we're going to be using it. I have another video coming out on that in a few weeks. But I shared what that was, and we are combining that with Build Your Library History of Science and Curiosity Chronicles. So, okay, this went really well. We just didn't get to it as much as we wanted to, so we're not as far along into the process as I was hoping we were going to be. Loved Big History Project. Use that mostly because we haven't gotten to the part in the timeline where humans have formed yet. We just got to where life begins on Earth. We're gonna finish that out throughout the summer, and then we will get into humans and human history. And so we have enjoyed the Big History Project. Loved it so much. Honestly, we didn't use that History of Science from Build Your Library all that much. That came with the textbook Story of Science. This is okay. I'm going to say it's okay. It's very textbooky, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a story since it's the Story of Science. So it's a lot more textbooky than I thought it was going to be. And she doesn't really enjoy it, but it's got good information. And so we are still using it. We're going to continue using it. It's a 3-part series. So we'll see, after we get a little bit further into this, if I'm going to pick up the other ones. But we didn't really use that so much, so I can't give a good review on that. But we did use the Big History Project. I do love it. I do highly recommend doing it through Khan Academy. I tried using just the website. That was a little challenging. Especially because it's designed for like a group setting, it was kind of hard to adapt some of those activities to just be for, just us. And so I highly recommend doing it through Khan Academy instead of trying to use their actual website. Khan Academy was just, much more simplified, made it a lot easier to use, and the quizzes are graded, so you can give a grade if you want to. So all of that worked really well. Curiosity Chronicles, we only did like the first chapter because we haven't gotten to like human history yet, which is where we're going to start using that. But the one chapter that we did, we loved. And so I know we're going to keep using that. We're going to try to get through that here pretty soon. We're going to really beef up this over the summer to try to get, you know, caught further up. We just didn't get to it as much as we wanted to. Okay, one thing that I just remembered that we used that I must have forgotten to have mentioned in the previous video is that we use science chunks along with that big history project to do some of the science things, science chunks from elemental science. This is a neutral program, so they don't address things like evolution and the Big Bang, so I did have to make my own units for those. But we use the science chunks to do activities to go along with what we were learning about with the big history project, and absolutely loved it. I love science chunks from elemental science. They don't cover Big Bang and they don't cover evolution, but they cover everything else, and even the space stuff I felt like was very secular, you know, they didn't share, you know, anything that I wasn't comfortable sharing with my children as a secular homeschooling family. So that is another great resource that we used this year that I apparently just forgot to mention in that video. It really is geared more so for a little bit of a younger group, but I was able to use those along with the Big Bang or the big history project to kind of juice it up for my 8th grader while keeping it engaging for both of them. So that was one thing that I also wanted to mention here for you guys. I will be using Layers of Learning Art Beginnings because it does go through history, and it's like the beginning of history, which lines up with the curiosity. Okay, again, we haven't gotten to human history yet, so we didn't do a lot of these activities yet, so I can't give a fair assessment on it. But from what I've seen and what I've used so far, I do like it. But that information I'm hoping to get, you know, closer to when school starts in the next year, because I'm hoping to get some of these over the summer. So fingers crossed that happens. Okay, so next up we do this section as a family style, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it here because this is part of what we're using for 8th grade. We've been using the Philosophy of Science book, or Philosophy for Kids, sorry. Philosophy for Kids book by David A. White. I do have a review on it right here. We are kind of nearing somewhat of the end here. He does have a second book, so I'll be picking that one up when we're done with this one, if we finish it this year. But I've decided to add the Fallacy Detective to go along with it, so we're going to do both of these together. Okay, so Philosophy of Kids, still love it, still use it, haven't gotten to it much. We're still not quite through that book. We'll hopefully finish that book up this year. If not, at the beginning of next year, it's fine. It's philosophy. I think it's fun and engaging and important, but it's also like not the end of the world. The Fallacy Detective, didn't touch it, not once. So I got a lot of, I heard a lot of like feedback that it wasn't secular. I did look through it. Like I didn't read the whole thing, but I like read through a little bit of it. I didn't see anything that I was unsafe using in our homeschool. But you know, it's not secular apparently. I'm probably not going to use it at this point, so I'm probably going to sell it off. But didn't get to use that one, but still love and still use Philosophy for Kids by David A. White. I do want her to start focusing more on like computer, like using Microsoft, using Google, computer safety, typing, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so I had grand plans for this. None of them happened. We're gonna try again next year, but I will share that with you when I get to the planning process and that. But yeah, none of that happened. None of it. That is where we are with 8th grade. So yes, it does kind of seem like a. All right, and that was 8th grade. I think the only other thing I mentioned there was like a digital art class that she was going to take with Florida Virtual School. Again, we didn't get to that. I said at the beginning of this video that I was not sure we would get to everything, that it was kind of a lot, and of course we didn't get to everything. And it's fine. We're just going to, we've just bumped things until the beginning of next year. We're going to try to finish up some of these over the summer, but overall our year went pretty well. We liked most of what we used. There were 2 things that were just epic failures, and we switched gears on those, but 2 out of I think this was 8, then we didn't do one of them, so but it wasn't that bad. Overall we had a pretty good year. She learned a lot, she made a lot of progress, and yeah, so overall, that's how it went. If you have any questions about anything specific that I used that I didn't really answer here, drop that down in the comments. Don't forget to come back or ring that notification bell so you can see when our other videos are coming out this week. And I hope you will come back and chat with me again real soon. You can always follow us over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology. And I also have a blog if you want to check it out. I'll put the link there. I will be sharing all of our curriculum picks at the end of this week over there as well. So if you are a blog person, you can check it out over there. There'll be links there for everything. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys will come back and chat with me again soon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.